Good evening and welcome to the 79th episode of Lair of the Yak. The editors and producers and directors of tonight's episode ask that you please try to keep the conversation on tonight's topic, which is the wonderful year of 1979.
I was having breakfast in the morning. I think it was 2 fried eggs, toast. I don't know whether it was orange juice or grapefruit, but I remember I had a juice. I don't remember what it was.
No, you must listen to me, Captain. You must listen. Listen to this.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the 79th episode of Lair of the Yak. I'm very excited about this show because we are celebrating mine and most of yours favorite years. I just want to thank, see we got a lot of people in already. Once again, thanks to everybody watching from Facebook, MySpace, and Shocklines tonight, as well as anyone who's haunting around BlogStar. And before we're not going to really, we're going to do things different tonight. So I'm going to start off by asking Cornelius, what was going on in your world when it was 1979 here? Does that make sense, Corny?
No, it doesn't make sense, Nick. My world is your world. So 1979 here was your 1979. So your question is very stupid.
Okay, but what's it like in the future? Is 79 as respected and loved as it is now?
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. I beg to differ. Anyway, we will shoot around the room quick. And Mr. Ramon, what is happening this evening?
Hey, Nick. Very excited about the show tonight. I went through my briefly, or I went through my vinyl collection, and I pulled out some goodies from 1979. So I'll show you some of those in a little while. Definitely some great music was released that year, and just excited about the show.
Very good. And Colleen and Karen, I will ban you if you start with the 69. This isn't a hippie show.
Yeah, just because I was born in 69 doesn't make me a hippie moron.
Well, I'm pretty hippie chick, I think, for the most part. It's still some of my most favorite music ever, and I can't stop listening to it. So, but I'll keep it to myself. I'll try. I'm a metal chick too, but I still, I can't give up on my Led Zeppelin and Who and all that stuff. That's just too much part of me. But I'll keep it quiet.
Yeah, speaking of 69, I know we're not on 69 tonight, but 69, I remember 1969, that was when I got my first real 6-string, and I remember playing it till my fingers bled.
All right, Chris, that was good. And someone who I think wasn't even born yet, in 70, I don't know, Rhonda, what's up?
I want to know how I'm supposed to contribute to a show when I was only 1 year old when all this crap took place. So I don't even know what I'm supposed to say during this show tonight.
Well, we're here to teach the children, and I was only 11. Majewski, 1979. I think you were a year younger than me, maybe, but was it a fine year for you?
You know, I was 9 in 1979, or I was between 8 and 9 years old at that awkward age, and you know, I don't really remember a lot other than going to the 7-Eleven in Grand City and getting Slurpees on my own, and really getting into Mad Magazine, not the Mad Magazine itself, but that's the year I discovered all of like the small little paperbacks, you know, the Bedside Mad or Mad Sucks, or, you know, the lighter side of Mad and that kind of thing. And if I'm not mistaken, that was also the year I lost my virginity.
Yeah, you know what, Nick, to get back to what Karen was saying before, Karen claims to be a big Led Zeppelin fan, but you know what? Led Zeppelin actually released my favorite of their albums in 1979, and I just happened to have pulled it out before. A little In Through the Outdoor. People remember this album. It came wrapped in a brown paper bag, and the album cover, if you put water on it, which I never did, but from what I understand, if you put water on the album cover, it would actually change colors. It's like a black and white thing. And yeah, I love this album also. I think it's fantastic. It's like the last gasp of a dying band. And something about the album I just love. It's got a very distinct sound to it. White thing. And yeah, I love this album. It's like the last gasp of a dying band. And something about the album I just love. It's got a very distinct sound to it.
Why are they showing me, but Chris is still talking? I don't get it. Hey, I love that album too. A lot of people don't like it because it had some synthesizer on it, and they said, oh, they say, that's an awful album. But I like that album a lot. So I agree with you, Chris, even though you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
It's a good album. I don't think it's better than the first one was good. Anyway, I hope the leg's over. And Paul, getting back to what Paul was saying, one of the things that I really liked about 1979, it's the first time I read a novel in one sitting, and that was The Amityville Horror by Jay Anson. I still think it's still one of my favorite horror novels. And just recently, I know you're just sick of hearing me say it, but we just discovered that The Guardian came out in '79. Awesome novel, follow-up to The Sentinel. And of course, everybody, Dawn of the Dead came out. I know it came out in '78, but it was officially released in '79. And if you are a movie geek like myself, perhaps you were watching late-night television. In my case, I think I was watching a repeat of Benny Hill when this wonderful TV trailer came on, and I almost crapped myself.
In 1968, George Romero brought us Night of the Living Dead. It became the classic horror film of its time. Now, George Romero brings us the most intensely shocking motion picture experience for all times. Dawn of the Dead.
But I could be lying. The other thing is, you failed to mention, back then Saturday Night Live was pretty cool. And they actually used to have a lot of these people on. I remember the first time Blondie was on Saturday Night Live, and she looked, and Debbie Harry looked real hot. I remember when Gary Newman was on Saturday Night Live and did Cars, and that was pretty cool. So, you know, TV wasn't that bad then either. I don't know much of the shows. Maybe you do, but I knew Saturday Night Live was pretty great back then.
Yeah, and you know, the night Gary Newman was on Saturday Night Live, Elliot Gould was the host, and Newman also did Praying to the Aliens, which he did to the T. But Wiley, what's up tonight? And are you a fan of that wonderful year, 1979?
Well, actually, 1979 was the year that I graduated high school. So that in itself.
Yeah, I thought that Ed Wood had died in '79, but he actually died the very, very end of '78, in December. Yeah, Nick, let me ask you. Maybe you or Corny or somebody else knows. Do you remember a short-lived TV program called Fridays? Was that come out around '79, or was that a little bit later?
I loved Fridays. That was one of my favorite shows. And it was like kind of a rip-off of Saturday Night Live, but it was on Friday night. And it had people like, it had Michael Richards before he was on Seinfeld, and it had Mark Blowfield or something like that, and then it had...
And I was living in Queens at the time,